cutting-edge guests, awesome, uncensored, jaw-dropping information, plus funny memes, good deeds, and loads of laughter. Kind of have it all. Ladies and gentlemen, if your soul's awake, then welcome, because you're in the right place. Welcome back, you divine lions and lionesses, to Warriors of Wellness. This is one of the most important shows we've ever done, because as Secretary of HHS, RFK Jr., he has called out perilous warnings from chemtrails being sprayed over us by DARPA to vaccines and poisoned tap water, toxic foods, harmful additives, and ultimately a toxic burden touching nearly every aspect of our lives. That's impacting hundreds of millions of Americans and billions of people worldwide. This is forcing a long overdue conversation about health, accountability, and what comes next. So what if then humanity's greatest challenge, planet burdened by toxins at nearly every turn, also becomes the catalyst for its greatest awakening in wellness, vitality, and conscious living? Join me, Reiki Master Brad Wozni, with global wellness leaders Jennifer Allen and Barbara Lippincott, two amazing Southern belles who are at the top of their game, as we explore these urgent topics alongside patented, clinically studied American wellness technologies from X39, X49, and the LifeWave X2O water technology, featuring 20 patents and remarkable innovations now turning heads worldwide. And we're live, everybody. Here they are, the two Southern belles. Yeah, Jennifer Allen, Jen Allen, and Barbara Lippincott. Ladies, welcome back to the show. It's been a minute since having both of you on.
It's an honor to be here again.
I can't wait to hear what we're going to talk about.
I have no idea yet. I go with the flow.
It's truly amazing, you know, and as everybody who has been around for a while in the audience, we're all part of the same team, the big LifeWave team. Barbara, you know, you are the matriarch for us on this show. And then Jennifer, the two of you have been friends for a long time. Just give us, I say you're absolute global wellness leaders. It's true, because Jen and Habib, Dr. Habib Skaff, your CEO and her company Skin Wisdom, been on here as well separately from discussing what they've done. And then LifeWave really is the true, what some people have called it, the wearable medbed technology, although we're not allowed to say it. But we have a testimonial in Rumble I'll show later. That's exactly what they say from one of our people. But Barbara, Southern Belle, to me, you're a wellness pioneer, because there aren't many ladies in the South who have went through naturopathic school all the way to the level up and just didn't complete the final test on the licensing side. And then you were introduced to LifeWave and David Schmidt. We're going to show a video here in about 10 minutes of David Schmidt, whom I call the Nikola Tesla of our time, and how he wants to heal the world with this company and its products, with 201 patents to his name. But Barbara, you kicked this all off. Without you, then Jennifer wouldn't be here. Without Jennifer, then I wouldn't be here. And then so many thousands of people on our team Buddha who have had positive results with this wellness technology. And so let's talk about that. How did you get involved with it? And give us a little bit of your background, if you don't mind.
Well, Joel's saying, if everybody knew all that I've been through since I was born into this world, I would have inherited 4 different types of autoimmune disorders. I mean, I've not been a day in my life I was not in some sort of pain. I just learned to live with it. But all that to say, I think I've gone through all of these health challenges for right at 82 years. For me to learn how to help somebody else. I didn't know down the road that I could be helping somebody else. I just wanted the help. And took me a long time. And I was blessed to have a physician friend in Europe who said, Barbara, you need to become your own practitioner. So my husband said, go do it. What have you got to lose? Well, you know, it's not always easy, but I stuck with it. And yes, I did take some testing, and I said no. My husband actually bought me a shirt, that had, it's all about me on the front.
Way
So
to
I go in and these people, so well, you want to do this? What do you want to do? Do you want to do this next? Do you want to go to the advanced? What do you want to do? And I said, it's all about me. Well, then you can get these licenses and, you got to go back to school. You got a lot of ways to go. And I said, it's all about me. I came and I learned and I left. And I started applying all that to myself. Came off of so many different medications. And I don't tell people to do that. That was kind of crazy of me because the person that diagnosed me said, you can't come off of that. You got to be on it for the rest of your life. And I said, I threw it away 4 months ago or whatever. I mean, I was stubborn. What did I have to lose? And man, did I learn a lot, good and bad, et cetera, et cetera. But I ended up making such an advancement. The good Lord helped with his help. My doctor called me in for some testing. She said, you hadn't been here in a while. I need to see you. I go in. I ended up spending 2 hours in her office. And she said, well, you're not going to leave. And I will take no for an answer. And I said, what do you mean? She said, I won't be on my staff. And I said, no, I don't need to work. I don't want to work. That's not what I got all this for. So long story short, she saw my credentials and she said, you're going to work. I said, but I don't have a license. I've got all this certification. I do not have a license. She said, you don't need a license. You're going to work under my license. And I did for 14 years. Now, during that time, Brad, she called me into her office. It was a couple of years or so after I was working with her, and she pulled out my chart. And she says, I want you to read this. And I go, oh, my God. And she had written at the bottom of one of my blood test results, I do not expect this, and she said, lovely lady, to survive more than 2 years. And of course, she never told me that because she doesn't believe in telling a patient anything negative. Yep. And she said, and here you are. If you are willing to come in here and see patients who want to get better and do what you do, follow your directions, et cetera, you can work anytime you want to. And that's how I ended up helping so many people. And I loved it. And so from there, it went on to something else. And my good friend, one of my best friends, Connie, called me after I retired again. I retired in my life 3 times. And we closed the practice during the big virus thing because the owner was now almost 90. And she said, I just can't have people coming in here with all that. So I'm finally going to close the largest practice there was in the Southeast. And I thought, oh, what am I going to do now? My husband had passed away and I was bored. I had to have something to do. Connie calls me up. Hey, Barbara, what do you know about stem cells? I said, I know a lot about stem cells. She said, yeah, but did you know you could activate your own, increase the activity? And I went, yeah, you can do it with some of it with some nutrition. But I said, nobody eats well. And she said, oh, it's just with a little patch. I never asked her how much it cost. I said, what do I need to do? And she said, just give me your credit card. Well, I trusted her. And I ordered something that I did not know what I was going to get. Yeah. But I made in that conversation to her, I said, Connie, I am not selling anything. I'll give it a try. Do not expect me to sell anything. She said, you don't have to. I said, okay, bring it on. Well, You know that didn't happen. When the good Lord gives you something good, you better share it.
Yeah.
And it just kind of went from there, and it got better and bigger and all this. And it's like, okay, what do I do next? Well, I'm still doing next. I'm still rolling. And I will have to say that all 4 of those diagnoses that I had, I learned that they were genetic. Oh boy. Wow. So whenever you meet David or you hear about the patches, he will mention how it helps what? The genes. He's already discovered so many genes are being helped. And so later on, I realized, because it took me 4 months before I felt anything from that patch. You know, people have wonderful miracles, right? It's amazing, but they don't have what I deal with. So everybody's different. And I didn't feel anything. So I go to a medical doctor. She does 23 pages of blood test on me. Not 2 or 3, 23 every time I see her, because I am really one of those kind. And her comment was, wow. Question me, what are you doing? What are you doing? Look at this test. And it showed how I was already improving in so many things, even starting with my thyroid, just different things. That was the first sign that those patches were becoming miracle patches for me.
Wow.
There's the proof. Get your blood work before and after if you want to. So anyway, that's more information than you wanted to know. But just know that my doctor said, how do I get those patches? You know, it was like, oh, and even to this day, I have to share this. To this day, I don't quote work with LifeWave. You know, it's a sharing business. And so I had a major fall about 2.5 years ago, going into my neighbor's house. I didn't know it, and I didn't break any bones. They were just like, oh my God, you're old. You didn't break any bones. And I was in so much pain. I would have said, yeah, I wear X49, but I didn't say that. I was just thinking, just help me. And lo and behold, it's like things just started improving. But the effect of the fall didn't show up until about this last year. And it did trauma to my brain, because when I fell against our hurricane doors here that we live in. Wow. And my neurologist says, oh my God, Barbara, we got to do an MRI. We got to do this. And he was actually in awe that I was doing as good as I was doing, because if you know anything about energy, that energy gets shifted. It gets into the body. You got to get that out. We got to move that energy, and it didn't. So we're working on that now. So, sometimes I may get a word or something like that, but it's like, I think I'm pretty darn good for my age. So I'm not complaining, but overall, these patches are my miracle patches in the grace of God.
Barbara, it's truly amazing. Before we go to Jen for some background, it's encapsulating here once again, why it's on the thumbnail, Wellness Pioneer Jen, Wellness Pioneer yourself, right? This is the way I see you, as well as global wellness leaders, because you have a global business. I've tried to retire 3 times, and you're going out and you're sharing with people. And one of the things, we'll get into this a little bit later on X39 that you're talking about. I mean, it also has a powerful effect on brain health. So you've also just mentioned that too, right? We've had clinical studies on it, reporting improved memory, focus, cognitive function as well. And this was done, with the football players, which have a lot of brain hits, TBIs, etc. But we're not diagnosing. We're not saying we can cure anything whatsoever with this. We're just using our own light. And that's powerful. At 82, you are still rocking it right now. And you've built an entire global business from your lovely home and just sitting there having tea with everybody, which is amazing.
Yes.
Amazing, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
We brought Jennifer in the fold. So just now, how long have you two known each other? Because you two go back a ways. And then talk about Jen.
Has it been about
30 years? 30 years.
35, 30 or 40 years, whatever.
Yeah.
It's amazing how God works, how God puts people in your path and how he does this. And I have to tell this story of Jen, and then she can finish it. But
I'm inviting someone to come watch Brad. So
okay.
I'm always multitasking.
I took my car to be serviced, and they always give me a car to drive, right? And they always say, go shopping. And I went, I don't want to go shopping. I spend more money when I come in here to do this. And so I went, oh, Jen popped into my mind. And I called her up. And I went to Jen's house. Mm-hmm. And we're, sitting there chatting, and she's telling me what's going on in her world. We're good about that. I call it dumping on each other. Hey, guess what? I'm doing what happened. And she said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm selling and sharing these patches. Well, what are they? And I said, you want to try one? And I did. Gave her the patches. And I shared with her that I was going to be seeing David Schmidt the next day, personally. And I said, I don't think I even said, you want to go? I think she said, can I go? I said, yes.
You invited me, but that's all right.
Yeah. And it was like, yes. And so that led it from there. So for some reason, if I hadn't have gone over there to see her, you see, everything just happens in divine right order. Yes. And now then, here we are. She takes care of me, and, she's a good friend.
Family. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Jen, a little bit of your background, because I just want to say, Barbara, to wrap up this, when we first met, I full on and still do. I'm like, oh man, it's amazing. She's in her 60s, but she's talking about all this life experience she's had. And I only found out about 3 or 4 months later, after having done shows or attending the Zooms that you were on, that you were 79 then, 82 now. And I thought, man, like 60, 61 maybe. So this is the thing, right? Because of what this, first of all, everybody, age is a state of mind, but then also you have to take care of yourself. Like we mentioned in the intro, there's this very, very toxic environment we've been exposed to for generations. Barbara, you mentioned about genetically what had been passed down for you, which you overcame on your own, not giving medical advice here to anybody. And your doctor was so blown away. She hired you into her practice to help her patients, because the way that she was brought up in the medical field did not really share a lot about the naturopathic ways we shared with the people in her practice to make them well, which is, I love Gregory Mascari, our friend's quote, chemical weapons and surgical strikes are no way to heal the body or the mind, which is really powerful. So it's incredible there. And then the transition to Jen. Jen, you have 8 children, 4 on your own, 4 from marriage, 8, and then you are a grandmother of many. You're over to see kids and some of your grandkids right now. So thanks for taking this precious time to be here live with us today. So just share with us a little bit about your background. My goodness, you've got a global LifeWay business, plus you have the Skin Wisdom business. You've been in wellness for a long time. You've had many hats that you have worn at different levels in your career, but just, let's talk about, what you've seen, and then LifeWave in that transition. Barbara was mentioning inviting you to come join it, David, and we'll show his video here right after this.
Well, I've been interested in helping people all my life. And I had gone in New Hampshire. I lived in New Hampshire for 24 years and helped start hospice movement there. My sister started at Montreal, so it was in my heart. And when I went to the bishop in New Hampshire, I'm Episcopalian, said, I want to go to seminary and help people that are dying. He actually said I had to wait until my church accepted me, and it was a conservative Anglo-Catholic Episcopal church. So in those 10 years, I stayed in a business, the book business, and so I'm a businesswoman and a seminarian. I did go to seminary in Boston and 2 different ones. And through that, I started working with people that were dying in hospice. And when I moved to Tampa to marry my college sweetheart, who happened to be a doctor, I ended up working for hospice here and HIV/AIDS, a lot of that, HIV/AIDS, hospice, all that. And I did get my master's in social work. I stopped seminary and got my master's in social work. So we worked together because he was creating a spray for people that were burned, and that was in his heart. He had worked at the burn unit at Tampa General. He's a plastic surgeon, and so, I'm the businesswoman. I was always able to raise money. He was able to come up with the ideas, and we worked with other chemists and people to create Skin Wisdom Rescue Spray. And it took off nationwide through 17 states. And then I'm trying to shorten it, but we did try to get it through the FDA twice. And both times the people that manufactured it screwed our production up on purpose, we think. So that we wouldn't succeed, because there still to this day is no spray for burns. And people that are going through radiation, chemotherapy, they need this. And so the National Cancer Institute did work with me. They loved the spray, and they said this would be a standard of care worldwide for us to have this spray, because still to this day they have, for women with breast cancer, you have to put this stuff on, the salve, and any other thing, you do the same. They just need our spray, and it stops it instantly. So they did, the National Cancer Institute did test my spray with a pilot project, proved that it worked, and we went forward, and then all of a sudden FDA was blocking people if you didn't have their approval. I said, that's all right, I'll raise more money and we'll go get it again. And the second time we tried, they got through to that manufacturer, whoever they is and whatever is, and messed it up again. I don't need to go into all the details, but we knew that we were being blocked. And so we still have not given up. We manufacture it as a cosmetic. We have the most incredible CEO, Habib Scaff, who will be on Brad's show soon, who he just is brilliant, and he went to high school with my kids in Tampa, in Berkeley. So anyway, we trust him. Let's put it that way. And he has put stuff through the FDA before, and he's also had his product stolen. So, we understand big business versus little. And 21 years ago, I never gave up. We're still doing it, and we have come back out, and we're selling it through really my LifeWave buddies, Brad and a couple other people on there. So back to Barbara. The man that I married, he was my college sweetheart. Well, he ended up moving on. I'll be very nice. And we're still business partners. So anyway, I was in shock when Barbara came to meet me, and she really came to see how I was doing. And I was just in shock. But she said, I have this patch. And she says, it might help. Seriously, you did, Barb. She puts it on my neck. And I said, okay. And she goes, would you like to meet David Schmidt? He's here tomorrow with friends of mine, and he'll be in Sarasota. I go, well, I don't know who he is, but I would love to find out about this. And so for me, my memory is I drove down to Sarasota, and I had my phone. It was only 4 years ago. I mean, he is so famous now, but he wasn't 4 years ago. 2 million people at the most, and worldwide, or maybe even 1 million, I don't know. But he wasn't huge yet. And the X39 and the X49 had just come out the year before. And what impressed me is he worked 10 solid years with Dr. Brzezinski and also Lauren Picard, who are cancer specialists. And Dr. Lauren Picard has a book out that anybody can buy. Now I'm forgetting the name, but I'll think of it before the end. He put that out and it was to cure cancer 10 years earlier. And the FDA came in and took all of his books, shut him down for 10 years. He came back out with it just when I was meeting Barbara. It had come back out, and you can buy it on eBay or anywhere else because it says for skincare. Same book, same information, skincare. So what did David discover? He discovered that if you add copper peptides to his wonderful patches, that would be what would change the genetics, the telomeres. I think we're allowed to say that. The telomeres are, if they grow after their body's been cut, if the end grows within 12 to 14 days when you're doing experiments, that's a good, successful product that's helping it grow back. David did it, and it grew back in 12 hours. And he did it with Tesla Energy, Brad. You were so right. He has this screen thing that he built that's like a circle, and it's just total energy. And you put the telomere in there in the middle of all that energy, and it grew back within 12 hours. So he added that to his patches, the ability to. So what does he do with the patches? I don't want to confuse people. He didn't add an ingredient. Like, he changed the gematria and the color code in each of his patches, and there are proteins and peptides in the patches. And he figured out a way to get our own bodies to increase our GHK-Cu copper peptide production. And if you see the picture, it says when you get to 60, you stop, having stem cells. Well, I'm like 78 right now, and I was 74 then, and I'm like, oh well, I'm off the chart, so I'll try these things, right? And he then also learned from these two doctors working with cancer that how to make AHKCU, which is a separate peptide, and he put both the color code and the gematria code into the patches for X39 and X49. Barbara referred to X49, which was the last patch he created, and that one makes our bones stronger. She flew up against a door 2 years ago and slammed into it at 80 and didn't break a bone. I was in an airport. I went up in the air and down because somebody walked in front of me. They cut me off. I didn't break my knee. It was still strong. I ripped the meniscus on both sides, and that I used patches to regrow. And you can regrow your cartilage, and I've done it. So, these are things that take a long time. They don't take a week. But I want to give you all that information. So I met David. I shook his hand. I still didn't know him. Went from there to be with my daughter in Celebration in Orlando. And 3 people ordered that very day because I had all those pictures that David had shared with us. And there are some now the FDA doesn't even let them share because it's supposed to be healing. So anyway, I still have them on my phone if anybody wants to come see it.
And I think a key through line for what we've got here from Barbara's story, yours, Jen, what you went through with Skin Wisdom, the FDA. We've done shows where Fossey himself directly was stopping your company, directly stopping. They have that now. There's accountability. We talked about it in the beginning of the show is coming for many people. DNI Tulsi Gabbard is indicting him as well as other lieutenants of his for COVID and the COVID-19 and the jabs and the chemtrails and DARPA that RFK Jr. said. So what we have on the screen here, the reason why I call this the Warriors of Wellness Show is because we are literally in a war of wellness for mankind on the planet and genetically as well. And one of the things that really attracted me with my experience putting on a patch, I'm one of those one patch wonders. I didn't need 4 months like Barbara or 3.5 months like our mutual friend Lisa Schermerhorn and putting this on. Size of a quarter, thin as a few hairs. Set it and forget it. It's great. You can slap it on the X39. We'll talk about that later. Was the mission for this man, which aligns with my soul's purpose for being here in this incarnation, which is to uplift humanity's consciousness through song and story. And his story, to me, is extremely powerful. So I'm going to play the video of David Schmidt at our conference, which people are going to see very soon in about a month's time. Creation, when it is released, Mickey Willis's new film with Greg Braden, and David Schmidt, the story of David and pretty much of LifeWave X39 and X20 as well, the water technology, that is going to be released in about a month's time on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, and Netflix to 370 million people of this man. And this is a clip from that movie and our conference. Here it is. David Schmidt in his own words, everybody.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There is more information there than most people would ever realize. I was 8 years old, and my parents wanted to take me to the workshop of Thomas Edison. On the drive back home, I said to my dad, I want to be an inventor. Light, as it turns out, is the primary control mechanism for everything else that happens in the body. What if we could have an external electromagnetic field that would essentially reset the stem cells that are already in our bodies and get them to function like younger, healthier cells? What if in the process we actually found out that in a book that was written thousands of years ago, that information already existed? God has left his fingerprint in natural design, and that blueprint shows up in nature. The mathematical codes are identical. The implications to this are absolutely extraordinary. What drives me is that there's this enormous sense of hope that we can create technology to generate clean energy, that we can have foods that aren't genetically modified, and we can meet all of the needs on the planet that we have to, and that we can heal people.
And here we are. Einstein said the future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. And this is Tesla right here. If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And that's exactly what we have with X39, X49, which you ladies have mentioned and you ladies have been involved in as true warriors, wellness pioneers, and leaders on the global stage. So that's David. The two of you had an opportunity to meet him, and we're sitting here at a crux of time where now the federal government of America is going to be arresting and has arrested some and indicted some for war crimes, treason, sedition, and fraud for the chemical toxicities that are going on. There's RFK Jr. talking on Dr. Phil 2 years ago about the chemtrail in the agency, in case anybody needs to see that screenshot. Once again, in New York Post, just 2 days ago, U.S. Secretary of Health Robert F. Kennedy Jr. believes DARPA, a secretive military agency, is spraying dangerous chemtrails in the sky, and he vowed to put a stop to it. The key thing for all of us that you're hearing from these divine lionesses is that they took it upon themselves to, I can't say the word heal, so I don't know what the other, I have to look at the source, to take matters in your own hands, because nobody was going to do it for you. And you've just shared incredible testimony for what that has meant for you. And we've mentioned X39, X49, and this company, after David put out that video, after a conference it was showed to us, after Mickey Willis on stage previewed the code of creation to everyone at the conference, just a week or so later, won the Biotech Stem Cell Award, Stem Cell Innovation of the Year, for LifeWave X39, that patch, and Celergize, the supplement that goes into the water that I'm drinking right now this morning, every morning, because of what it does in our body, activating GHKCU. And we know from Dr. Lauren Picard and half a century of research published on PubMed.gov, NIH.gov, that when you activate GHKCU copper peptide in your bloodstream, it has a supply chain reaction to activate stem cells or reawaken those. And that has a stem cell reaction to activate often 1/3 your genome, based on the published research from Dr. Lauren Picard. And we have 70 patents now, thanks to X39. But I want to turn it back to you, ladies, Barbara, and then to Jen, on what it was like to watch, because of what the decades of experience the two of you have had around as literal warriors in the wellness space that everybody's heard of now, to watch, witness, and stand back and see that a competition with 15,000 submissions from big pharma, biotech companies who put hundreds of millions to billions of dollars into things that are chemical or synthetic, and all of a sudden a little patch that costs the price of a Starbucks coffee per day or $99 a month for an entire sleeve, and then the Cellergize supplement stimulates stem cell activity and wins a freaking award and crushes it. What was that like? Barbara first, then Jen.
Well, I'm going to tell you, with all that I went through and everything I've tried, I probably could put a wing on every doctor's house. Okay, with what I spent. Yeah. And I ended up learning that my body is the only power source needed to activate that patch.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's the less expensive thing I have ever invested in my health. And it does a lot more than it really is sold to do, as we know. And then, and people have asked me, well, how does it work? And I said, it's so simple. Everybody knows about acupuncture, right? A patch is simply acupuncture without a needle. It knows how to pick up those frequencies, just like that doctor does, putting all those needles in you. And then when you go home, she's got to take them out before you go home. Well, guess what? If I was an acupuncturist, I said, here, I'm going to give you a patch so this keeps working for 12 hours. Boy, you're getting a big bang for your buck when you come see me. It is just so simple, those two things. That's really all anybody needs to know. Trust the process. It works. Money back guaranteed. If you don't like them in the beginning, well, who wouldn't like them if they just put them on? And trust the process. God is so good. God provides his light, and that's exactly what we're activating in our body is light.
Yep, you're biophotonic beings of light. Everybody from Lynn's photography in 1966, which is aura photography, can see the spectrums of light that our being, our soul, sound of unlimited love, is giving off in our spirit. And that is frequency. And with the patch, each one of them, X39 for GHKCU or X49 for AHKCU, which is carnosine, which helps strengthen muscles and bones. We'll talk about that in a moment, everyone.
And the brain.
And the brain. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Carnosine, brain.
Right. Yeah. It sends it right back into the body. Let frequency be medicine 100%. Jen.
Yeah.
So 3 decades, more or less, that you've known each other. You have been a warrior in the wellness space for decades as well. And all you've done, everybody can see in your biography, is serve, serve, serve. You have servant leadership. Everything done is serve in our Creator on earth and everything that you have done. And you got to see this happen. Tell us, what was that like?
Well, at first, I want to give you 3 words, Brad, for you and everybody under you that I used for Skin Wisdom when FDA questioned whatever we advertise. The 3 R's. We can repair, renew, and rejuvenate. And that is, we don't need to ever say those other words. You get it? The H word and all that. Repair, renew, rejuvenate. And I just this year started using it again because of the situation with our LifeWave. So I got challenged with Skin Wisdom, and Bill and I are still good friends. We're getting this thing going, so I don't want to, I realized afterwards, I said I went through a trauma, but I want you to know it was a good thing for all of us. So for me, the patches started working immediately. They helped me feel better. And I'm now working, I'm trained as a therapist to work with trauma, along with a few other things. So now people have started coming to some of the shows that Brad's good friend, Michael Jaco, that I patched, and then thank God because he got Brad. Anyway, they've started coming to those shows that I know to yours, Brad, that have people that are MK Ultra'd and harmed as a child. And these patches calmed those people down.
Right.
We did have a patch Nirvana that I don't know if it'll come out or not, but we do have through just the X39 and the Eon enough to calm things down. And the 49 bone and muscle health in women, yes. And I'm aging, so yes, it's helping me with that. But I want people to know that the patches themselves, Barbara had long-term, I've had long-term, but I also had instant with pains in my body. And I don't know, Brad, what you want me to focus on. I just went off in 10 directions.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, what we can see here, because as I mentioned earlier, somebody in the chat said Barbara looks like, can't believe she's 82, easily looks like her 70s or more. Younger, me 60s. This is on our team, this lady, and we can't really say exactly what she had, but you can see the regeneration, what happens when cars. When you wear the X39, which is the foundation patch, $99 a month. I want to take everybody over here, by the way, because I had mentioned that it had 70 patents, right? And we have more information, resources, compliant for everybody over on this site, liveyounger.com/Buddha. Right there, we have a toll-free phone number, email that you can get in contact with us. And you can see here, LifeWave invested 10 years into stem cell research, which resulted in over 70 patents and a simple patch. So it helps you look, feel, and live younger. Now, people have been posting into the Rumble. We're live on Rumble and YouTube, some of their incredible results, right? So, you can go through this, take a moment. Every link, by the way, is below in the description, wherever you're watching this broadcast, or if you're listening to it later as a podcast, it is all here. That video from David Schmidt is on there, so you can see all of these results. And what's really key for everybody too is, once again, I am one of those one patch wonders. 8 or 9 times out of 10 people have the couple minute experience, or the same day they have an experience that is mind-blowing. Barbara wasn't sure after 4 months and went and got her blood work checked with 23 pages. And you can see that. And we like to tell people, if you're wearing X39, wear it for 1 month for every decade that you're alive, because we can't feel our hair growing. We can't see, or feel our toenails growing, but it is changing you. There's 100% of the people have results. It just takes a period of time depending on your environment. And remember, our environment, it's up to us, everybody. Here's the patent for subliminal acoustic manipulation of the nervous system, United States patent number 6017302A, 5G towers, which manipulate and send harmful, deadly EMFs into your brain as well as your body. So it's up to us to take control of what we can do to upgrade ourselves and protect ourselves against all the toxicities we've been discussing here. Because at the moment, nobody's going to really do it for us. And this just happens to be the war we're in, but these beneficial solutions. Does that make sense, ladies?
Yeah, and I use them as a Faraday cage, the patches. I mean, you're reminding me when you bring that up. So
say hi to Helena and Julie on compliance, just in case. We're good. We're keeping this compliant.
I think so, yeah. But no, they've never said I can't say Faraday cage. But anyway, I've put the patches on, and David created the first patches, the 2 energy patches, to help the Navy SEALs to go out for 30 hours in a sub and come back, single man sub. And they were so successful, but his order got canceled by the DOD the same time my Skin Wisdom did, the same exact time. And both of us were working out of Scripps Clinic, both of us. His people were working out of Scripps Clinic. The man that signed my patent was head of microbiology at Scripps Clinic. And so that was it. But anyway, that's why I feel linked. So when he was working on that, he took it to the Los Angeles, to Stanford. And he took the patches, the energy patches, to the swim team in Stanford. And they happened to also be the Olympic swim team. And 7 out of 8 swimmers broke their world record just wearing the energy patches. So David had to learn a way to sell them or share them without going. He lost the DOD. He didn't have a contract. So that was a gift to all of us that got canceled, because then he could go forward and allow us to share them with everybody around the world. And so I did, when I found out about it and I met him, I told him, my gosh, I was there at the same time at Scripps Clinic, and we were both canceled by the DOD. So I think there's just so many gifts that have come out of this. And from the energy patches, David obviously has more patches, which Brad, you will show everybody. But I want everyone to know that with the energy itself, when he added the GHKCU, it took it to a whole nother level. And that's the repair, the renew, and the rejuvenate. That level. I guess, is that a big jump? But I'm trying to help.
No, that's a great one. Actually, it's a perfect segue, because I've been called, when I had that experience, I can't even call it miracle. We can't say the other word that starts with an H anymore. When I had that experience in 2 minutes and 57 seconds, where I had extreme discomfort, that I would say my extreme discomfort was a level of 9 out of 10 in my shoulder. And then I put the patch on, and that 9 out of 10 went to a 1. And a few minutes later, less than 10 minutes later, it went to a 0. And I had the mobility all over again. To me, I said, this is like Star Trek, And I remember watching Star Trek, Beverly Crusher. She used to have the camcorder and Bones like do something, and the bones are reset, right? That type of level. Well, I found fascinating too is David was nicknamed Spock in college, and he was a total Trekkie. And then William Shatner is now our spokesperson, and I'd love to play that video again of the LifeWave intern of William Shatner. And here he is at 92, a spokesman for the company, now great friends with David and a whole bunch of others, doing a tour, because this is, to me, the Star Trek level technology the company has, right? It's akin to that, not just with the water technology. We're going to talk about that in a moment after this too. But this goes right to his mission that he said in the video. It's, to heal the world. We can eat foods.
To repair, rejuvenate
everything.
The world.
What's that, Jen?
To repair, rejuvenate the world.
Repair, rejuvenate the world. Yep. I was just using his words, so for compliance. But no, I was using his words in what he said in the code of creation. I put it out there. Here it is. William Shatner, everybody. I love this.
I've lived a long life. I've done a lot of things, but I've never been an intern.
I'm the founder, sure, but I'm also an inventor. My latest experiment? Hire William Shatner, but as an intern. No way I can afford that guy full time.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm going to be your trainer for today.
Hi, Alicia. Hi, Alicia.
William Shatner?
Yeah, well, you can call me Bill. Or intern. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's just fine. Today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of our Welcome Center.
I hear they have something like a captain's bridge in the Welcome Center. Feels like you're traveling through space.
I have an award-winning production designer.
This I gotta see.
For decades. And hey, Bill.
No, please, no sci-fi today. I'm just here as an intern, that's it. I just beamed in. Yeah, I know that look. I get that look whenever I sneak around, and you're sneaking. Go away. I'm busy. Jackpot. You didn't see a thing. People gotta see this.
Bill! Who let you in here?
He let me in here.
Bill? Captain?
Oh, You gotta get out here. The old intern who looks an awful lot like me, he's messing things up.
But wait, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a sci-fi thing. Come on.
Oh, excuse me. David, was that? Is that in budget?
Oh,
There you are. Come on. Back to the group.
people gotta see this.
I know. It's a part of the tour.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you ready for me? Doug. Bill? Doug. Bill. Doug. Bill. For goodness.
You know Doug?
Do I know Doug? Star Trek designer on props and sets and the spaceships and this?
Came out beautifully, huh?
Oh, Doug is...
Hey, Bill.
Oh,
One of your clones said you're causing trouble.
you're taking the word of a clone?
Personally, I always go with the original.
That's a good idea.
I have a question. Are you really going to be an intern here?
But, yeah, why not? But first, I gotta tell you about the Welcome Center here at the LifeWave offices.
Okay, this is a commercial. Got it.
No. It's a kind of soft sell. No, just a simple suggestion, really. Copy this QR code to learn about LifeWave, its products, and their amazing welcome center, and that's it. I had a great time experiencing their amazing life-changing technology and learning about the opportunities surrounding one of the fastest-growing companies on the planet, and you will too. So check them out, and just tell them Bill sent you, the real Bill, not that sci-fi clone. Oh, okay. Hey, duty calls. Back to internet. Bye-bye.
Oh, excellent.
Is that your QR code, Fred?
That's the QR code, yeah, right there.
The
Yeah,
one
we
that he
have-
showed
yeah,
also? The one he showed when he was still in it? Is that yours too?
Well, Bill's Canadian. We go back to Bill and Doug. So
I wanted it. No, I just want to make sure it all goes.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. All right.
That's
So Barbara at 82, Jen at 78, Bill Shatner at 92. You ladies are massive part to the success of this company, our team as well. How does that feel? You know, I just want to get into it's Captain Kirk. And here he is, and he looks amazing too, Barbara.
I think it feels fantastic considering, if you've been there and done that, this is priceless. It's like God has just given you a new opportunity to keep getting better and better. You still got to go, whatever your journey is to get to your destination. The more you learn, the better off you are. I make sure that I have made good, positive changes in my life. And as a nutritionist as well, I also share with people internal light. God puts it in all the foods that he created. And I used to have patients say, what do you want me to eat? And I said, the only thing you need to know is if God made it, eat it. If he didn't, leave it alone. The body knows what to do with real God-given food. And I love it. People, David's getting a lot of his information from Genesis. That's all stated in Genesis of how he grows these things for us to eat. And it's like people just bypass it. So make sure you're blessing your food, put good food in your body, drink some really good water. And that good water.
Living water.
And I think we have hit the mother lode with what David has provided for us that was given to him through his connection to the God source.
Yeah, it's truly magical. And if anybody isn't following that aspect of what Barbara's saying, because it's so new and it's not publicly available yet, the LifeWave X2O water technology, that David developed in nearly 10 years in the labs. What he did is he decoded the book of Genesis, the words that you saw on the video, which is in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. He went, is there a frequency to those words? Found a frequency to those words in Gematria 999-888-777. Said, does anything like that resonate with nature? Found in nature actually does. Lobsters, lobster bloods, in fact, found that the frequency of basically almost, this is why I called it the Genesis water machine 2 years ago. I heard about it. Our great grand partner is calling that now on all her shows, saying it's Genesis. I'm like, absolutely, 100%. Because this to me is like Cocoon. The movies in Cocoon back in the day, right? Everybody does something and all of a sudden they've got it. But what we have now are two new, not one, but two elements that never existed before on Earth. One being added to the periodic table, which the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office had to open up a new classification for this water, which has never existed before, which the studies coming out are just blowing everybody's minds, because nothing before Earth has had this existed. Nobody has seen these things happen in such a way that can have this type of water that is infused with 6 wavelengths of light. And we are beings of light. And as David stated just on our show last night, and I was going to play that MP3 here just after a little bit on in about 10 minutes from now, about photons and light, that in our body we have photons, and photons actually never die. That is the source of light, and potentially could be the source of our soul. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves right now, but I'll play that clip from last night's call with David on the water machine. I do want to just acknowledge a few people in the chats, Rumble, YouTube as well. And again, these are people that have been posting their own testimonials into the chats, right? Kathleen, I've been using X39 patch for over 4 years. It absolutely gave me my life back. I am bone on bone in my knees. I was crippled when I put the patch on. In a matter of days, I was, the word with the P, free. I never miss a day putting my patch on. Thank you, LifeWave. Now, everybody, this is what this individual is saying. We are not here to treat, diagnose, or cure. So we are not a medical device. The X39. Lioness219 is in our Rumble chat right now and says, thank you, Jen and Barbara. Because I signed up under Brad when I saw him on Michael about 2 years ago, so the ripple effect is real. Pretty sure the patches are what's keeping me going all day. That's Lioness219, which is just awesome. I really appreciate the name of that. We have another one here from Kara Buoko from our other Rumble chat that said, I canceled all my subscriptions to make this happen, X39 and others. Nice. Aeon, and says, the support is wonderful. And then Tina Ray Dory asks, Karabuko, what has the patch done for you in the chat? And Karabuko says, I was prone to strokes, had 2 already, and I'm now free of that. My cognitive skills have improved massively, no more allergies, and the list goes on. And Tina Ray Dory says, okay, thank you for sharing. God bless. Another one in the chat, which is just really incredible. This kind of is like a 4-month testimony here, Barbara, like you had experienced in 4 months. It took the blood results prove to you that things were changing massively, even though you didn't see or feel them. Ultimate Free Thinker in Rumble chat says, my scars are dramatically improving. I'm sleeping better than I ever had. I've been on X39 for only 4 months. Again, everybody, these are real people saying this. This is not us saying this. We had somebody else with radical changes in Rumble. Beck King Cortez says, I've been damn patching November 2022. They have radically, all caps, changed my life, and many others that I love. I personally believe every person on the planet needs to have this patch X39 on their body. In fact, Colonel Chuck Sellers, former deputy commander of Delta Force, said, if I was still in, I'd issue these X39 patches to every man and woman under my command. I'll just put his comments in the Rumble chat and the YouTube, etc., for everybody else to see. And there's more, so I'm just going to go down through 2 or 3 more, because we talked about lockdowns and what happened, Barbara, in your story. That King Cortez and Connie Lucas says, in response to another part of the Rumble chat, these patches are tools to help the body with itself, the way God helped originally design us. You guys got to get the patch. And then Beck King Cortez says, originally patched during Corona, cray for preventive reasons. I had no idea the current issues my body began to immediately address. Got energy back, deep sleep, and more. And I'm just going to share one more that was really powerful as far as I'm concerned, because we don't say this, but people are picking up on this because it's Star Trek type technology. FPass 157 in Rumble says, I'm not waiting for the medbeds. It's proactive time. The patches are a wearable medbed that is available now.
Yes.
That's FPass 157. So again, the whole through line here, these ladies, Barbara, Jennifer, did not wait for things to change. You know, they're out there doing it and being proactive, and FPass 157, absolutely right.
Brad, can I add something? Because as a grandma, my grandson, who's now 21, was wearing the patches all through playing lacrosse and X39 and the Eon every day. And I want people to realize younger people can wear the patches, because we've talked about how it's kept us strong and younger, but any age. And David is not allowed to say babies and stuff. It's up to each parent, and he wants the person to be able to say something. But when people look at, further down on your website, they'll see the sports players and stuff. You can go in and see the sports players. And the strongest man in the world is there going, yeah. And he's got the energy patches here. Well, my grandson sent me that TikTok when I was talking to your friend, Michael Jaco. And I go, oh my God. And he said, Grandma, look, the strongest man in the world is wearing these. And now it's in all the LifeWave material.
Yeah.
The kids watch. And so, he was probably 20 at the time or 18, but this is how important these patches are for all ages, and they're safe. They're safe. And
I'm glad, Jen, that you mentioned the age, because a lot of people have asked me over time, well, why can't you do a test on a 15-year-old or 5-year-old?
Yeah.
It's a law.
Yeah.
If you go shopping, you'll see on everything just about you buy supplements, it's not for people under 18, because you cannot do a clinical trial on a child.
Right.
They can't approve it.
Right.
So you don't go there. But it's just like drinking water. Can they still drink water? Yes, they can.
Yes.
Oh, come on. It's just common sense. But if I were young and I was having my babies now, I wouldn't volunteer them for a clinical trial. So
but I bet you put the patches on them.
Liability. But I put patches on a newborn baby years ago. And
there you go.
God, now you can't hold him down. I mean, it's that's another story. Oh my God.
It's amazing.
Yeah, miracle patches. Miracle patches.
Totally incredible. And X2O, you two ladies are in the States right now. It's only available to brand partners in the US, except for Iowa, Wisconsin, California, because here you have this water technology, which is actually, so for where I am down here in South America, you don't drink tap water out of the taps. And then if you go into the grocery stores that they have down here, they're all, big plastic 5-liter bottles. And in my opinion, they're dead water. It's been microwaved. It doesn't taste right whatsoever. The structure of it's, Dr. Masaru Emoto, the structure of water and the intention. So I actually get bottles of Italian spring water, and I pay on average $64 to $72 US a week just for drinking water, right? So that's over $3,500 a year just for drinking water for the body that I put the Cellar Dyes AM into. But the thing is that this water technology now has incredible results. The clinical studies show, we can reference this, that 100% of the people have positive changes in 15 seconds on average. That's all we can say about this right now. And again, this is not yet publicly available. It's only to brand partners in the US, except for California, Iowa, and Wisconsin until they approve it. You ladies have had the experience. We all know a lot of people have had experiences. Barbara, starting with you, what would you share about the X2O water technology, and then over to you, Jennifer, beyond what David's already said?
That water machine is priceless to me. People say, oh, I don't spend that much money. Oh, come on. Everybody spends a lot of money. And it's the best investment that you can ever purchase, because over time, you're going to find that it's not really costing you anything. It's saving you a whole lot of money. But I want to tell you, with my first experience, because I think I was the second person to get it on that first shipment. And as soon as I drank it, oh my God, I felt it in my head. You know how the patches go where they want to go? That energy, you can't control where that energy is going through your body. You know, you might want it to go here, but it goes, that water's doing the same thing. And David had mentioned about some people feel it in their heads. Mine went directly to my brain, where I'm needing the most help for repair. Yep. And so I've been, using the water for a while now, and I'm finally getting to where I drink it. I don't feel that move. It's like, okay, it's really helping my head. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I go to my doctor, and they're kind of saying, well, man, that looks good. Time we got this. You're going to get that fixed. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm drinking that water. I bless it every day. God tells you, Jesus did how to hold the water and bless it before you drink water. Be thankful for everything that he has given us. And that water is the superstar. So bless it and enjoy it and visualize it going wherever you're wanting it to go. But no, you may not feel anything. But what if you do? And then all of a sudden, you're getting a little more mental clarity, or you're running after your kids and say, whew, I'm not as tired as I used to be at the end of the day. You never know what's going to happen. But that water is going to hydrate you. And one of the things I was diagnosed with is my body attacks anything and everything connected to water, to moisture. Oh my God. You don't want to live that kind of life, I can tell you. Wow. This stuff is going to help me dehydrate, because that's what it was proven to do, is to hydrate. So bring that water on, and it can hydrate me anytime it wants to. I'm telling you. So for me, true blessing. True blessing.
Yep. I'm going to play the clip from, thank you, Barbara, and then go to Jen right after this. This is David on our call last night discussing the X2O water technology on our private chat last night. So I'm going to play this off the laptop. Just want to make sure as soon as I click play, you ladies can hear this as well as the audience.
From the perspective of human beings.
You can hear this?
Yes.
Okay, great. Here we are. It's about 90 seconds.
But from the perspective of the photon, it was instantaneous. So what that means is that photons are immortal. And our spirit, let's say, is a light body that's held in coherence. So in our lives, we want to move closer to God. We want to move closer to that source of light, because not living in God's presence is living in darkness, and living in darkness is death, because light is immortal and outside of time and space. So I know I took a sidetrack there, but this is just to say that light is something very, very fundamental to the world around us. It's very special. It's like nothing else that exists. And of course, water as a medium, there's nothing else quite like water. It's very, very strange, its properties. So to answer your question directly, yes, by the time we're 25, we start to age. We can measure that biologically. The fibroblasts start to decrease in the production of collagen. So we should do our best from as early as possible to have a lifestyle where we're exercising, eating healthy, getting plenty of rest, hydrating, taking supplements, hopefully using the patches, using all of these tools. Managing stress in our lives, feeling love for others, doing all of these things, and we can have a healthy, abundant, great life.
Thank you, David. All right. So
did that give you goosebumps? What a blessing. You get chills. It's like, whoo.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jen.
Okay.
2-0 for yourself, family, anybody else that you've seen around there. And then
Oh.
I have one more MP3 for the audience from last night's call with David speaking about X2O and X39 synergistically together, because everybody, X39 is the foundational patch. Copper peptides, remember back in the day, the 1980s, people, my golf swing sucks. I hurt. I got arthritis. I put on a copper bracelet. Boy, I feel better. You know, I don't know why I did a Southern accent on that, but that's what I remember seeing in the 80s.
It's God's chosen accent, I can tell you.
I think so. Yeah. It's kind of like a Jim Daly in my mind, right? With a Southern accent saying that. But copper peptides, you want the X39, but X2O, Jen, your experience and what has happened we can share.
I have noticed that, and I have some autoimmune things inherited from my mother, and my sister has some of the same exact issues Barbara does, and they've talked, and keeps her dry, and she's always putting water in her eyes and stuff. So she came on, she told me the other day that her whole body doesn't hurt as much anymore. And I used to feel the heat all the way up here, pain. It stopped. I flew to Herndon to visit my grandchildren and my daughter and her husband. And I don't have my water today. And I'm starting to feel, the arms again. So it's kept me at bay. It's kept any pain from that issue that you inherit from parents when you get older. It was gone until I came here, and I won't be drinking water for 4 days. So it's okay. Permanently, I went to my ear doctor this past week, and I had issues with my ears, and they kept filling up because I'm allergic, I think, to all the stuff outside, and they were filling up. But I went in and he said, your ears are perfectly clear. He said, what are you doing differently? And he said, I don't want to see you back for a year. I go, it's the water and the patches. He looked at me and he goes, okay. I'm trying to get these doctors to wake up. But anyway, it really did. I had a very good, result from it, from the inner ear. So, and I've been on the water for almost 6 months. So whenever I got it as a director, I can't even remember, but quite a while. So it's helped me a lot. And my sister, same thing. It took the pain away from her at 80.
Well, we can't. Discomfort, you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said she had the same issue Barbara did and she was drying up, but also she had pain all day, all night, like Barbara. And she's feeling a lot better. The pain isn't there. She fights me for the water machine. I want to get my glass. You get your glass. No, I'm kidding. We don't fight because you can get 2 glasses, but then you wait 45 minutes if you don't get your glass in.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. The machine we're showing everybody, right? It dispenses 2 16-ounce glasses of water. Mm-hmm. It shows, we know from David directly, if it's sealed without air, hermetically sealed in a way, you want to pat it in copper, not stainless steel, but really you should drink it within 45 minutes. Again, because you've got layers of light that have been discharged into it. It's hydrogen enriched. It's dual stage filtration. It takes out microplastics. It's incredible, right? And it was built to use for tap water anywhere because we know of the poisons that have been reported and announced, whether it's Children's Health Defense to the HHS as well, that there are multiple types: cadmium, barium, aluminum, fluoride, strontium, chlorine in tap water, plus microplastics, plus I can't remember the name of pharmaceuticals, but the people who flush pharmaceuticals down the toilet, whatever, as well as unfortunately human waste feces found in over 23 states in the tap water on average across America alone. And I would imagine that's for most of the world anyway, but we can just talk about what has been reported and studied, through those. So the X2O is built also for that. And here's David, just a clip about 1.5 minutes last night, speaking on our call about synergistically leveraging X39 and X2O together, with a follow-on question from Julie right after. So here we go.
I want to interrupt.
Oh, sorry?
I want to interrupt. Remember I told you I invited someone to watch you today, Brad?
Okay.
He's been trying all morning to get the water machine because they sell out immediately.
They sold out. Yeah, 24 minutes.
His just went through.
Congratulations.
So that,
Oh,
you know,
that's great.
anyway, yeah, I'm like, but he's watching you now. So
Oh, that's great. Yeah, demand is off the charts.
I tell people enjoy the anticipation because that's what we went through for so long.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, when is Santa gonna get here? You know, that anticipation. And you just get so excited and oh, it's just gonna be any day. And it's like, oh, when that box comes in, you just kind of hover over it and hug it. I mean, it's like, it's here, you know. So everybody's going to go through that same anticipation, but the timing is when the good Lord wants you to have it.
Yep.
Mhm.
And man, it comes at the perfect time. And when you get it, bless it.
Brad, we interrupted, but I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that example of, Christmas.
It's Christmas because it is Christmas time. You can't wait to get that thing out and that beautiful box that's inside and get that thing open. Oh my God. You know,
That's awesome.
good feeling.
Beautiful.
You never outgrow waiting for Santa.
And thanks to the Nikola Tesla of our time, we have that opportunity now to do this. And by the way, for the international, because the audience is here from Australia, New Zealand, Sweden, South Africa, all across watching right now. The water machine, the next releases of the rollouts are going to be the European Union, South Korea, and then other parts of the world as soon as possible so that everybody can it goes through regulatory approval. It has to go through government regulatory approval in every region, same as Canada, other places too. So it'll be wonderful. But here's David on X39, X20 synergistically last night. It's about 1 minute and 11 seconds where it really turns out to be the clip. How perfect was that?
Yes, with the patches, the beauty of this is that what we found over the years, and this is very consistent with studies done on acupuncture that are dehydrated, do not get good benefits from acupuncture or acupressure, and the same with the patches. So for years, we've been recommending, hey, if you don't get the results that you're seeing that you want with the patches, drink a glass of water, be hydrated, and then off you go. So it will complement not only X39, but all the patches. And then because the water is organized and the surface tension is lower, that means that you put nutrients in it, like from Celergized Morning, and those nutrients are going to be more efficiently delivered into the cell. So you actually get better benefits out of Celergized Morning, or somebody wants to use a greens drink or a smoothie or what have you. So X2O complements the patches, our nutrition products, and so the system all works together.
There we are. The system works together. Amazing.
Can I add one more thing? I always remind people this, that one thing that David said was, if you're taking medication and you drink the water, wait 30 minutes and then take your medication.
Yes.
Because it, it's the old saying, give a big bang for your buck kind of thing. Just like it does our nutrients. That's how it takes it into the system. So wait 30 minutes and then take your medication.
Beautiful. Well said. Well said. Well, ladies, thank you very much for your time. I know Jen has flown up to see some of her children and her grandkids doing this. So again, this is part of our team. We're here for everybody to help enlighten 1 billion souls around the world. That's the mission for our team. We are part of it. You're seeing these lovely ladies. We meet several times a week. So anybody who joins on X39 first, again, it's $99 US for a month supply. There's a money back guarantee. And as Barbara has said, with the water machine, it is priceless, right?
Yes, it is.
When it all comes in to your home. So we have full support for everybody. Calls, emails, phones, Zooms, etc. What would be the final blessing, the message that you would put forward today, Barbara, and then over to Jen? Actually, go with Jen and then to Barbara, into the world, because again, the title of this show is RFK Jr.'s America's Toxic World, the poison, water, food, and jabs. And this is a man that we fully support, standing behind, who is bringing accountability, justice and changing the ways to make America healthy again. But it's all up to us to be proactive. As you've heard from these divine lionesses, warrior grandmothers, warrior women of wellness across the planet, saying you got to take it in your own hands. So from a benevolent, inspiring message, how would you leave it off, Jennifer, and then over to Barbara to close?
Well, I was thinking, as you were talking, I wear the patches, and a couple of my daughters wear them and a couple don't, and so what I would say is that I share with the world, and when people choose to join in, they will, and if they don't, never get offended. Just love everybody completely, fully. I was trained, I used to run retreats for Al-Anon, so let go, let God on everybody you share with, and the right people will come to you. And that's why I feel Brad is a part of my family and his family, everyone that he's signed up. And I just love our team. And it came to me when you introduced me, I've never been happier in my life than what I do every day working with everyone with LifeWave. And I absolutely love my team from the top on down, and so it's just exciting to get up every day and share. And I never get upset. I just love it. So anyway, that's part of my life, I guess. But if it shares with you, go for it.
Yep. You're sharing the light, and
That's
you get more back into you. How amazing is that?
Isn't she amazing?
I have so much fun.
Absolutely.
Jen is so amazing to everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for patching me, Barb.
You're more than welcome. You owe me a patch. No, we gotta have an exchange of energy. Remember? No, I think you owe me a hug. I'm one of those. I always try to keep things simple, and I think my last words would be, if each individual would change their stinking thinking, quit telling yourself anything negative. That's very hard. Oh, I'm overweight. Oh, this hurts. Oh, woe is me. Oh, my hair looks awful. Oh, we do it to ourselves all the time. We're all guilty. And you have to catch yourself. And when I catch myself saying something I shouldn't, I say, I've told this to Jen, delete, delete, delete. Can I reword that where it makes it more positive? Yeah. Because when you're in horrific pain, that's a challenge. But it can be done. So change your stinking thinking. Reword things to be positive. Tell people how you feel about them. Be positive. I don't care. Just change that thinking. And
Stay in the house of love. Stay in the house of love, right, Barbara?
Oh, yeah. I've got it all over my computer down here from Michael. Stay in the love vibration.
Oh, true. That
is true.
Absolutely.
And it is, I think, humans, sometimes their hardest challenge. And if I can just help individuals go through that process, then all of a sudden they're helping somebody else. And I want to tell you what, their patch will work better because God doesn't look upon negativity. He's going to say, if you're going to do that, but I'll help you with positivity. So say, okay, so that's what I mean. Say, okay, God, you're going to help me. This is what I need today. May not be what I want, but this is what I need today. And we all need water. We all need nutrition. We all need his healing energy. And guess what? David Schmidt deserves the gold button for that.
The gold button, yes, he does.
He gets the gold button. I'll have to mail him a gold button.
Yeah.
So I'm honored to be here today, Brad. It's good to
it's all mine.
On your show again. I've kind of, stayed in the back for all this is not knocking on my head. Yeah. And you've made my day.
Oh, thank you. Southern Bells. Thank you both. Mahalo. Mahalo, everybody. And just stay on as soon as the stream ends. And everyone, God bless you all. Have yourself a wonderful week ahead. Remember, while
Bye, everybody.
it looks nasty outside, it could be nasty, the food and everything going on. There are tools right now that are proven time and time again, as we've just shared. You've heard here from these ladies, and there are great times ahead, but we have to be proactive at it as well. So we'll see you all next time, everybody. Links are below in the description for anything, and we look forward to seeing you on our calls. You can reach out to us, call us, email us. All the information's below. Bye-bye.
Namaste.
39 and X49 Activate Light your water system
There you go, Barbara.
for vibrant health.
Thanks for joining us on the program, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, follow, subscribe, share this with 9 friends and family. And of course, if you enjoy our Blinged Buddha firing red pills from his 9mm, let us know.
I had to sneak that in there.